What's going on, people? It's the Xbot 448 coming at you with another live video for subscribers of my channel. You guys know I really like to do this. I feel like it's the easiest way to get my thoughts and opinions out. About things that I'm thinking about in terms of gaming. And guys, I will let you know, I am constantly thinking about the gaming industry. Oh snap! It's Mel is in the chat as far as Rick Den- Denise or Dennis. I don't know which. I hope I didn't murder that. But oh snaps can tell you guys. I am always thinking about um things that are going on in the gaming industry, announcements, like what they really mean, all that good stuff. And as you can see, from the video right here, even though there's no sound, I am showing bits and pieces of AMD's keynote for Computex, which happened maybe a day or two ago. Uh, what is going on, Dancing Devil? Good to see you in the chat, brother. And a couple things have come out that I want to talk about. First off, we have President Trump kind of like threatening tariffs and stuff like that on China, and what that could mean to the gaming consoles out here. And a lot of people are have talked about it, but there's a point to this that I feel not a lot of people have talked about it. So that's kind of crazy. Yo, what is up, the Don? The Don stating conspiracy theory. And brother, kind of is. This is kind of like a quote unquote conspiracy theory video. So, guys, I hope you have your tinfoil hats fashioned to the right size because we are going to go in on this stuff. Now, I don't know which one to go with first. AMD's partnerships or the tariffs. Let's go with the tariffs, guys. And guys, when I start talking about this, you got any PlayStation friends or anything, anybody who kind of waves that Sony flag all the time, no matter what, you are gonna want them to watch this video. If they are there with you in person, you might see them get a little angry over some of the things I am about to say. But in all actuality, if true, make common sense. All right, and I know that's something we don't get to see a lot on YouTube today. But all right, so there is a quote unquote trade war going on between the United States and China, and the way Trump likes to fight this trade war is with tariffs, with basically increasing the amount of money it's going to take for products that are manufactured in that country to come over to this country, right? So he threatened a 25% increase on anything coming from China into the United States. Now, for people who look into what a tariff is and stuff like that, guys, that increased price for those products that come into this country, um, they usually trickle down to the consumer. So if he's adding a 25% tariff, there's a lot of people out there saying that guess what? There are things that are going to be 25% more expensive than what they are right now. Now, with these tariffs, first thing I want to say is there's already product in this country. So, by different people doing guesstimations, if these tariffs go through, you're not going to feel that price increase until about the end of this year. All right, because there's already stock, there's already inventory over here that can kind of like we're not going to pay for it right off the bat. Yeah, Don, you do know me well, yo. Huge shout out to my brother Sub Zero, dude. I know I haven't been able to shout you out too much. Whether it's next podcast or other podcasts I've been on, but dude, I've been seeing you in the chats again. It is great to see you, my brother. Country gentlemen, what is going on? It is good to see everybody in here. Before I dive into it, guys, you know what to do. Slap that thumbs up button. Share this out on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you go to talk games. I don't care if you have to send a carrier pigeon to grandma. But whatever you got to do, let people know that we are here live right now and we are talking about a couple interesting topics. Now, when it comes to the tariffs, 25% increase. And Shout out to my boy Enrique, the creator of the Basement Radio Arcade podcast. He was one of the first people on Twitter that I saw relating this whole tariff thing to consoles, saying, 25% more expensive consoles. We have new consoles coming out in 2020. What's going to happen there? Now, to give you guys a kind of like a proper estimate of how much more money people would be paying for certain consoles. Now, the Nintendo Switch right now is $300. If you add 25% on to the price of a $300 Switch, you are now going to have to pay $375. So that's almost $400, almost $100 more than the original price of the Nintendo Switch here. And like I said, this only goes for the United States, right? So that's a huge chunk of change. Imagine like, thinking about, man, I'm thinking about getting the Switch. It's $300 going to the store and it's like, nope. With what Trump has put into place, it is now $375. And the reason why this would affect the Nintendo Switch is because Nintendo's manufacturing line for the Nintendo Switch is in China. If they had that line anywhere else, if they had it in, I don't know, let's say Vietnam or other countries other than China, there wouldn't be a 25% increase. Okay, so that's interesting. And then you look at PlayStation, you look at Sony and PlayStation. The majority of their manufacturer lines are in China as well. So if that's the case, say they come out with a $400 PlayStation 5. I know people have been throwing that number out. It would actually be a $500 PlayStation 5 in the United States because of the tariffs. So again, shout out to my brother Enrique, but he grouped up all the consoles as a whole, and here is where it gets interesting because beginning of this generation, it was stated that Microsoft and Xbox actually produce 90% of the Xbox Ones that come off the manufacturing line are actually based in Brazil. So they're not in China. They do have a line in China, but that according to what they were talking about, it's only 10% of all Xbox Ones that go out worldwide. And I can definitely see that. Have a small manufacturing line in China, to put out to the countries around there. But when you're looking at the bigger picture, when you're looking at the countries that buy the most, right? You want to be able to cater to the United States, to Canada, to Europe, and Mexico, right? Those are big kind of like avenues. Those are a lot of people in those countries buy consoles. So if this is true, this is the irony of this, and I want to see what you guys think. What you guys think about this. If this is true, if 90% of the Xbox Ones are actually coming out in Brazil and then shipped to Europe, United States, Canada, Mexico, other countries in South America. Country gentleman, good point. The 25 increase isn't concerning to me at the moment. I'm good with the hardware I have. Yeah, see, and I'm talking about people who are looking to adopt into the next series of hardware. But this is interesting, country gentlemen. I think you're going to like this. If this is the case, and the Brazilian manufacturer's line is the one that deals with the United States, then there would be no 25% increase when it comes to Anaconda, when it comes to Lockhart and Xbox One X and S as they continue to manufacture those as well. So, in the long run, if they put these tariffs out there, there is a chance that in the United States, the PlayStation 5, because of the tariffs, could be more expensive than the next Xbox, codename Anaconda, but could also be less powerful. Let me repeat that one more time. Because of the tariffs and Sony having their manufacturer lines in China, when the PS5 comes out, if the tariffs are in place, Christopher, this is not, man. Look it up yourself. If the tariffs are in place, then they're shipping directly from their manufacturer's line to the United States. Then there's going to be a 25% increase. Now, if they're doing it in Brazil and supplying the United States, there will be no 25% increase because they are coming from Brazil and not China. So if this happens, there is a okay, there is a chance that the PS5 could be more expensive but less powerful. Kind of brings you back to 2013, right? Think about that. To me, that is very interesting that this could happen. Then again, when it comes to politics, politicians can say one thing 1 minute and then do a complete 180 the next minute. There's nothing set in stone. I don't think these tariffs have been put into place yet, so I don't think there is always a chance that it couldn't happen. But I feel like it's really interesting when you break it down that could very well be the case when it comes to the next series of hardware with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2 or whatever you want to call it, because we don't know the name of it yet. But I've been thinking about this for like a couple days now, and I'm like, yo, this really makes sense. I even said it on a couple different podcasts that I'm on. You might want to check those podcasts out. On Sunday, I'm on CCC on O Snap's channel. On Wednesdays, I am with Crap, Mooch, Foxy, Knox doing Xbox Nation. On Friday, I'm on Crossfire on Mooch's channel. And then, of course, every Saturday, next podcast here. But when you look at it like this, and shout out to Jay Slayer in the comments. He is Sony can get around this. All they have to do is have Sony Japan buy the consoles and then ship them to the US. Now, Jay Slayer, I hear you on that. But you also got to remember corporations will think about what's most cost effective. And if Sony Japan has the real estate to put these boxes, into a certain storage to be shipped out to go to the United States. You got to look at the price as a whole. And with Sony having almost 100 million consoles out right now, you don't know what they're thinking. All right. And of course, there's some people out there. Well, Sony can just move their manufacturing line outside of China. Yo, Sam, want to play PUBG? I might want to play PUBG actually, but people stated, well, Sony can just move their manufacturing line outside of China, and the thing is, right there you have contracts and agreements. I'm not sure about how they are structured there, but just to pick up a whole manufacturing line, right, and to bring the all the hardware that's needed for the assembly lines and put everything together and to ship it to another country and stuff like that costs a ton of money. These corporations, they don't necessarily just do stuff like that. Oh yeah, the update. Stop distracting me, oh snaps. I'm talking about interesting things here. But yeah, so when it's all said and done, if Trump decides he's going to put these tariffs down, one very interesting byproduct of this is the fact that you could see a more expensive PlayStation 5, even more expensive than codename Anaconda. But the PS5 will also be the less powerful of the two. So in the comment section, guys, I want to know what you think about that. To me, it's absolutely crazy, but it's definitely plausible. It's definitely something that will make you think when you start looking down the road into 2020. Now another thing that's interesting is, of course, AMD did their keynote for Computech, right? First time they ever did a keynote for Computech I have highlights going on right now. You can see them in the video. Yeah, that's right, guys. No gameplay, but I figured this was more interesting. Of course, they came out uh, talking about the Navi really quickly, and they talked about how Navi is in the PlayStation 5, and I think everybody out there knew that. They are using a new kind of like architecture. They are going away from GCN architecture. They created their what they call their RDNA architecture when it comes to their GPUs. Now we got to see what that actually consists of, right? There's a few benchmarks, stuff like that, that they put out there. But at the end, they said that they are going to be at E3 June 10th, and they are going to show their complete line of CPUs and GPUs and kind of go in depth with what they're all about, how they work, and all that good stuff. So, Navi will be in the PlayStation 5, and like I said, this was a no brainer. Anybody following this from the beginning uh kind of we already said that this is the way it was going. Now, but check this out. Check the video right now as you see this lady talking. This lady is from Microsoft. Now, the reason why I'm pointing this out and watch the wall behind them, the screen behind them, because a lot of people are saying that Sony partnered with AMD to create the Navi GPU architecture so it won't be in the next Xbox. And I already called it out saying no, that's absolutely bogus. There's no way that AMD won't use their Navi architecture for just about anything that they need GPU wise, graphics wise. That they would your common sense would state that they would use that wherever they need to. Uh, Microsoft needs to stop sending emails to Trump. That is good, Christopher. I like that, man. But as you can see right here, and this whole part of the keynote was the CEO of AMD talking with another higher official of Microsoft talking about their partnership and how it is a deeper partnership than just about any other partnership that AMD has. All right. So in that aspect, and you can see right here, look right behind, it's going to say deeper partnership from console to cloud. So, guys, when it's all said and done, people can talk about the Sony partnership with AMD to create the PlayStation 5 in terms of hardware. But look at where Microsoft is with AMD. They are talking about an even deeper partnership going from console to cloud. So, what that tells me, if I'm thinking of this right, is that AMD and Microsoft are such close partners that when AMD comes out with a newer technology, a newer way to do something, that AMD is going to offer it to Microsoft first, and there is a good reason why. When it comes to business partnerships, are you going to like deeply partner with one company that pretty much does one thing, right? Like I know Sony is a corporation, they got the movies and stuff like that, but whatever happened to their cell phones, whatever happened to their computers. Whereas Microsoft with Surface and everything that they do in terms of hardware, AMD partners with them, and now you have AMD in consoles, in laptops, in desktops, all the way up to the cloud server farms, which we know Sony is nowhere even comparable when it comes to Microsoft in terms of their cloud infrastructure, to the point where they are about to like sign a deal to use the Azure cloud. So, guys, this is where I say at the end of the day, being a fanboy could be fun on social media and stuff like that, but when you start throwing it out there that there are exclusive partnerships and that the GPU architecture Navi can't be used in the new Xboxes because of this partnership with Sony, and you don't look at Microsoft's partnership with AMD, you are you're trying to make a full story by reading half the book, and you can never do that properly. So, guys, when it's all said and done, Microsoft and Xbox have a really deep relationship, business partnership with AMD, a partnership to rival any other partnership that AMD has. Think about it, guys. I have a feeling the Anaconda and what's going to be underneath the hood of that is going to be truly revolutionary. And and it will have the Navi GPU architecture. But guys, that's pretty much what I have for today. I thought it was a couple really interesting topics. I thought it was something that if I went and recorded a video, I just would have been going back and forth, kind of re-recording. I didn't get this one right. I didn't get that one right. I think I have the general ideas about these two topics in a good format here with this live video. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me. And like I said, this is food for thought. I want to know what you guys think. Hit up the comment section. Once the video is processed and it goes up there, let me know what you guys think. Look into it for yourself as well. Don't just take bits and pieces. Do your own research. And when you start doing your own research, you can come up with more validated kind of like outcomes that could possibly happen. So at the end of the day, the tariffs between China and the United States could possibly make the PlayStation 5 more expensive than the Anaconda, and the rumors are that the Anaconda is the more powerful system. Let me know what you think about the most powerful system coming in with the lower price point, but wearing the Xbox brand. Do you think that that would be a game changer when the new series of hardware comes out? And look into the AMD partnerships, look into them with Sony, and look into them with Microsoft and Xbox. And you let me know who you think has the deeper partnership with AMD. I gotta say, guys, right now, with what AMD has been showing this year, they are absolutely killing it. It looks like Intel is kind of like they're shaking a little bit, guys. They are shaking, and there's another rumor on the PC side of things that there is a 16 core, 32 thread CPU on its way from AMD. I'm like, oh my goodness, guys, this is absolutely insane. Uh, but thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. This is another live video, another one in the books. If you like what I'm talking about, if you like the topics, you like the layout, you like the format, definitely hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, definitely subscribe. I do live streams. I do gaming news videos. Of course, this is the home of the next podcast every Saturday, 7 p.m. And we will be going in for an E3 live reaction for Xbox's conference, and we will be joined by none other than the legendary Yobi Dren and Lady Foxfire, as well as other panel members on the show. It's going to be a great show, guys. So definitely tune into that. That's going to be June 9th. So like I said, subscribe, guys. What are you waiting for? But as for now, this is the Xbot 448, and I am definitely signing